Okay, this is kind of a part 2 from my video from before. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna stay. Okay, alright, I'm gonna try to make this video while I do homework because I have a lot to get done, but I feel like I can talk while also not doing work. So, I got one of my grades back recently, and when I say recently, I literally mean today. Like, I got it back. And, oh wait, actually, hold on. Before I get into my story, the video that I made before, that I uploaded before, I realized I did not finish the story, and it's been like a couple days, but I think if I make another video after this one, when exams are kind of over and I can like kind of like take a minute to like rest up and kind of like, I don't know, just take a minute to rest up and everything, then I can probably make more consistent videos kind of just like describing like just my life and just getting people up to speed as if you guys were following along in the first place, but you weren't. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying before. I was doing my homework and I got one of my grades back for a midterm that I did for my psych class, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to. Um, I guess I'll be vulnerable with my grades because I mean, why not? So I wrote my exam and I got I think a 29 out of 40, which is like a 72.5%, right? And I'm not saying that that's like a horrible grade because it's not like I failed the exam, right? But it's still very humbling and upsetting to get a bad grade or to get a grade that you weren't expecting to get because you thought you did so good. Guys, I genuinely thought I did, like I thought I got like an 85, like 85 to 90% on the test because I was answering those questions so easily. I was circling all my answers like I knew what I was doing, and I was like, what is going on? Like I genuinely felt so upset when I saw my mark because I don't know, like it was just so humbling because I thought that I did really good, and then when I saw my mark, I was like, oh, clearly I didn't do as well as I thought I did. You know what I mean? Um, and it kind of killed my motivation a bit. And I've been trying to kind of get back into my routine of, doing my skincare every night and brushing my teeth properly. Cause like I'm gonna just be honest, like I feel like I haven't really been back in my like routine. Like also hitting the gym as well. Like today I hit the gym after not going for an entire week. And last week I just didn't go because I just like was just not in the mood to go. You know what I mean? Like it just sucked because I felt so out of rhythm. Because okay, so I'm the type of person that if one thing doesn't go right, I tend to like I tend to like give up easily, or like I tend to be somebody who doesn't like put in more effort after that. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it just kind of kills me because like I feel like it holds me back a lot most of the time. But yeah, I got that mark back and it kind of killed me. But one thing I realized was that I cannot keep giving myself hope about my test marks until I know exactly what I got. You know what I mean? Like for example, I realize that a lot of the times I say to myself, "Oh yeah," like if I do an exam, right? I then get my mark back, and then no, sorry. Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm like trying to talk and also do my notes at the same time. It's like distracting me, but sometimes when I do an exam and everything, I depending on how I think I did, I will either feel really confident or really scared about the exam. And for this exam specifically, I felt very confident. Like I thought like I genuinely flew by in that test so easily. I thought that I got like basically 100. I was like, there's no way I didn't make it. There's no way I didn't do an amazing job. Then I got my mark back today and I was like, oh, like I thought I did a lot better than what I presented or what I actually did. And then it made me realize that I need to stop giving myself false hope, because then when you don't get what you expect, it really kills your motivation. It makes you feel like the work that you put in was pointless, you know? Now I'm not saying that you can't have any confidence in what you do or any confidence in exams that you finish, But it's important to also realize that there's a possibility for everything, But on top of that, it's also good to know that whatever happens, happens. And the moment you write your exam, it's kind of like it's done. Like, there's nothing you can do about it at that point. And I feel like I always I don't like really internalize that sometimes because, um, I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like I don't necessarily like realize that because like it's just kind of there. Like, I don't realize that, oh yeah, like once I write this exam it's over with. I just kind of think to myself like, oh, like it's whatever, it's an exam, like I don't know, like I don't really internalize the idea that like that exam is done and there's nothing you can do about it. For some reason I always get like kind of hopeful and I'm like, oh, maybe I can fix it. Maybe if I just can travel back in time I can fix my exam. Who are we kidding, guys? Like, genuinely, there's a reason why we can't do stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm just trying to say, just generally speaking, that I don't know. It just feels very upsetting sometimes when you think you did well and then you don't. But like I said, I'm still learning because, like I said, I'm still in my first year of university, and I'm still trying to figure out everything and really understand what I'm doing. So yeah, but one thing I've also noticed, like, and this is probably the last thing I'll say, so then I can end the video so it's not too long. One thing I will say is that I noticed that a lot of the time, right? If you are somebody who likes to brag about your grades, you need to stop. And I say that because a lot of the times you're only like, first of all, the people around you are going to hate telling you anything, especially when it comes to grades, because they're going to just feel like, oh, this person's just going to brag about their grades. Because I'm not saying that you can't celebrate your successes. Like, I'm not saying that at all. In fact, celebrate your successes, even with people who are proud of you and everything. I'm not saying that you can't, but there's a lot of the time people don't understand that, like, there's a difference between celebrating and bragging. And I feel like a lot of the times people get that mixed up as well. But I realized, like, now, don't asking people for their grades, especially in university, is something that you might want to avoid, just like how I'm trying to avoid that. Because I, like, in high school, right, like, you guys were like, everyone was in like the same class, right? So it was kind of just like, oh, you could just ask, and like no one really cared that much because it's high school, you know what I mean? But I realize that now that I'm here, it kind of sucks to ask someone their grade. Like, let's say if someone asked me my grade, right, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to, I'm gonna feel very ashamed for ask. Like, I'm gonna feel very, very ashamed because it's gonna be like, you're only asking me because you know you did really, really well. And so, I don't know. I'm not saying you can't, like, ask people. Like, you can ask your friends, but I'm just saying that, like, if you're somebody who asks just to show off your grade, you need to stop. Anyways, enough about, like, that. But just, I don't know. Just in general, like, genuinely, like, I just feel so, it's just overwhelming, too. Really, really demotivating when you don't get the grade that you want. And I know it's my first year, and that's the thing, I keep giving myself leeway, and I keep reminding myself, like, you're fine, it's your first year, you don't need to worry too much about stuff like that. But it's like, eventually I will have to start worrying about stuff like that, and then it's like, when do I like improve and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I don't know, like, these last like 3-4 weeks of school have just been so busy because it's like getting ready for the end of the class. Like, I think, like, it's April 1st today. I end class April 9th. So I only have like 8 more days of this, and then it's just exams left and right. And then I'm done for a week, and then I'm starting spring classes. But I don't know. It just feels so overwhelming because I feel like I haven't had time to talk to friends. I haven't had time to play games, really. Like, I play games here and there, but it feels like I'm just like kind of just like there. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm actually like um I don't know how to explain it. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm actually like living right now. It feels like I'm just like kind of going through the flow of things and stuff. And it's so exhausting. Like, and especially when you get not such a good grade that you expected to get or that you wanted to get, it literally kills your motivation. It kills it so badly. It literally kills it. And so I'm kind of going through that right now. You know, trying to make sure I can finish up grades so I can hopefully like still enjoy life after and everything, and go back to kind of how things were, where, you know, I was doing things that I enjoy and all that. And I don't know, it just sucks. It really sucks because I just want to be done, but I also don't want to give up. And I don't know, there's just so much like things that have to go right and everything. I don't know. I just feel so stressed out. You know what I mean? I just feel so stressed out. And I don't know. Like, I sometimes also, like, I think I said this, like, before in my other video about how, like, alone I feel a lot of the time because it feels like everybody else has everything figured out. And I know that isn't the case, but, like, it's really hard to believe that when you see people around you who are getting 89s, hundreds even, and then you're just here getting like mere 70s, you know what I mean? And I know for a lot of people a 70 is like an amazing grade, like it's like the best thing they could ever get. And I'm not trying to like say that, like, I'm not trying to be one of those people that are like, oh wow, like you got an 80%, like, no, okay, like, okay, I feel like you guys know what I mean. You know those people that you have that like, let's say you get like a 75 on an exam, and then somebody else got like a 95, like a 95, right? And then that person asks you, hey, what did you get? And then you tell them, and they're like, oh, your grade is so good, your grade is amazing, like, good job, your grade is, I wish I got that grade. And then you ask them for their grade and they say they got a 95 and they're upset about that. I'm not trying to be one of those people because I know how it feels like to be on the end that has the lower grade, and then someone's asking you and then you're like, yeah, like, that's so difficult, like, I wish I got a higher grade. It's really exhausting when you have people like that around you. And I had a lot of people like that in high school, and in university it's not really like that anymore because everyone's kind of doing something different. But I will say, like, I'm sorry, I like completely got sidetracked, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to be one of those people that are saying, oh my gosh, getting a 70 is a bad grade, but like, because I have specific goals, aka medical school, getting a 70 is very bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's very bad. And it's funny because like a 70, I wouldn't say it's one of my highest grades this semester, but it's definitely on the higher end of my general scoring when it comes to exams. And it sucks. It really does, because there's people in their first year that are getting 89s, 90s, all these grades, and then I'm just here with my mere 70s, you know what I mean? And I know how important it is not to compare yourself to people around you, but it gets really difficult, especially since like you're always around them. Like, and people just say, oh, just don't think about it, like, your grades are fine, like, just if you keep comparing yourself, you know, you have to understand that people do things differently. And it's true, I'm not saying that they don't, but like I said, it gets very difficult when you're consistently around people who, on average, okay, on average, get 85s. Like, on average. Like, that's, like, probably their lowest grade, you know what I mean? And so it's hard. It's really hard because, like, I love having smart friends. I love having smart friends because genuinely it's so nice, because then you don't, like, first of all, your goals align because they're also hardworking and you're also hardworking. But it also gets really draining because then it feels like you can't necessarily talk to them about, oh yeah, I got this mark on my thing, like, it's so bad. Like, it feels like you can't tell them because then it feels like they're internally judging you about those grades and stuff. And so, yeah, I don't know. It just sucks. Like, honestly, it just sucks. But I try my best not to think about it, especially. But it's crazy because, like, how am I already done my first year? Like, I kind of wish I started filming, or started making videos in my first year. Like, I don't even know if this is gonna be like a thing that I do regularly, but um, I don't know. It's just crazy how time flies. Like, I know what people mean now when they say university goes by fast. Because I thought I have 4 years, it'll be fine. But now that I'm actually here, it's like, man, I'm already in my second year. Like, I swear, like, just a couple months ago, I didn't know where anything was on campus. Also, I realized that I'm taking a long time writing these notes, and this video is like a lot longer than I wanted it to be. But I'm just gonna wrap up by saying that, okay, actually, no, let me put that back down. I'm just gonna wrap up by saying that definitely don't feel like you're alone when if you're somebody who has really big goals like law, dentistry, medicine, and you're in your first year too, or even if it's like not like one of the tops, like even it could be something as, oh, like engineering as well, or even architecture. I know that one's like I know that one's like a huge one as well. That's like also super hard. You have to take physics and all that. And then same thing with engineering. Also, you have to take a bunch of stuff like that. Computer science. If you're somebody, just in general, if you're just somebody who isn't getting the best grades, just know that you're literally not alone. Like, you're not alone. Like, I feel like I'm alone sometimes, but I want you guys to know that you're not alone, because I feel alone sometimes when I get not so good grades compared to my peers. But I realize that that's okay. Um, and it just means that you have to work harder sometimes, and that's okay as well. Like, you don't have to be super smart to get into these high careers. You don't have to be super smart to get into these like super competitive like pathways and career choices. Like, you don't have to be a genius. You just have to work hard and understand that it's okay to mess up. And I'm saying this for myself too, because it feels nice saying it out loud. And I don't know, I just hope that from making these, I kind of, I don't know, I just hope that by making these, it makes me feel better about my situation. And it also makes me realize that, like, it's okay. But yeah. I think I'm gonna end the video here. Um, yeah. Yeah. I'm probably gonna make another one soon. Hopefully, probably after exams. So, like, in 3 weeks, maybe, unless I make another spontaneous video like this. But yeah, bye.